Bourbon Barkeep, my name is Curtis. Thank you for tuning in to another episode and to another blind. This week, we were just like, what have I not done at this point? Can't really afford the new releases at this point, and we're just like, what's best beginner rye whiskey? Let's see. Sometimes you come to the realization that the whiskey budget may have been blown. Yes, I blew it on a beautiful bottle on Little Book. Go check that one out. Or was it beautiful? I don't know. Just click on it and like it. We were just like, you know what? Let's use what we got for months and months. Here we are, best rye whiskey. If you follow this channel from the beginning, I don't know why, but thank you. Not a big rye whiskey fan. And then started to dabble into a little higher rye bourbon. So I'm like, you know what? There may be something here. I can't go herbal rye. So if you are a rye whiskey fan, you're probably not watching a beginner episode, to be fair. But you should know I do lean towards more of the Kentucky style rye, a little sweeter in there, less dirt. Dill's fine, but why? You know, it's summer. Everybody equates rye whiskey to winter. I never really stood that because you get like these nice sweet tea notes, good lemon, little lime, little peach, little dill, little backyard barbecue action. I've always gone summer. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I'm not trying to zag to everybody's zig, but that's just where we landed. As you can see, the growth has continued. We only have 4 bottles. If there was a fifth that fit, probably would have made it up here, but growth nonetheless. So let's take a look at our contenders of best rye whiskey for beginners. I understand there's other bottles that I personally enjoy that I didn't feel like fell into beginner rye whiskey, whether it was price, like your New Riff 8-year. I was like, man, I really want this in here because I want it in my mouth. $70-ish. I'm like, is beginner guy go in there? Shouldn't. There's other stuff out there. Pikesville, love Pikesville. Proof, a little high. So we landed here. All under 100 proof, all under, I believe, $50. So let's take a look. We got Bardstown. Delightful, great value, 6 years. This is going to be a 95% rye, 5% malted barley out there. So going to be the highest rye, I believe. But pretty approachable to me. 6 years old at $50. Beautiful bottle. Yeah, I understand I got the OG one. Change the label because you're a beginner, but this is the OG one. So if you bought the new one, I believe it's the same juice. Same taste, I should say. But ultimately, beautiful. Maybe I'm a hipster now. Got the cardigan on. OG bottle, little throwback. It's like a vinyl record at this point. Moving on. Russell's Reserve 6-year. I have really never experienced this. I wound up buying it in like one of those, hey, buy me and get a really nice bottle. And I'm like, well, couldn't be that bad. So we will soon find out. This one coming in at 51% rye, so more of that Kentucky style, a little lower rye. Maybe it's a good entry to your rye whiskey journey. Oh no, we'll see. This one coming in, what do we say, 90 proof? Yeah, it's not below our doors off with our first sip of rye whiskey ever in our lives. All right, Sagamore. These guys have intrigued me. I have really enjoyed their rye double oaked, the sherry finish. Thoroughly enjoyed. Saw they had a rum. Apparently I missed that boat because rum islets. That was before I got into whiskey, let alone rye whiskey, let alone finished rye whiskey. But I was like, that rum, that could have been something. Then the 10-year absolutely exploded onto the scene. But as great distilleries do, they survive, advance. And when I say that, I mean, this is now Sagamore Spirits actual juice. They were distilling some of their juice in Indiana. Now, here they are. I love a good victory story when it comes to, hey, we don't need big guy anymore. We've come of age. So this one, going to be non-age stated, but this is anywhere between 4 or 6 years old. This one, a little complicated for the beginner, but ultimately probably care about the juice. But specification-wise, this is going to be 2 separate mash bills. A high rye mash bill, which they developed with a guy from MGP. I'm terrible with names. So we're just going to go with a guy. And I feel less guilty not remembering this guy because I probably won't shake his hand one day, not out of spite, but out of, I just in my basement alone. So probably not going to visit down here. And they also have a low rye mash bill of a 52% rye. I'll flash up the mash bills, but you can get the idea. Triple distill each said mash bills with our speared fingers, blend them together. I believe the barrel entry was pretty high. I think it was like 120 proof. Boil water this guy down to, I believe, 93 proof. I should check real quick. 93 proof. Crushed it. And here we are. So kudo to Sagamore Spirit. This is now going to be completely Maryland style rye. I don't fully know what that means. I'm pretty sure it's a like low rye whiskey mash bill. But Maryland, shout out. Got a college roommate out there. Miss him dearly, but great guy. So Klinger, if you're watching, he's not. Sazerac rye. This one used to be extremely hard to find. Out of Buffalo Trace, like every Buffalo Trace product, extremely hard to find, mainly in my area. This everywhere now. Thoroughly enjoy it. Smooth. Can't wait to taste it again. This one coming in at 90 proof as well. Non-age stated, and we don't know the mash bill because Buffalo Trace likes secrets. And secrets are no fun. Just don't enjoy them. Wish I could know one day. But you get it. All right. I think that's it. If we didn't, I flashed up specs. So we're good. Pour these guys up, shuffle them up, and then we'll just see what's good. No scoring. It's just who's better. Thank you for putting up with the long intro. Yes, I understand the specs happen. Sometimes I ramble. I don't feel like I've recorded in a while. So, I don't know. Just giddy, maybe. But on to Glass A. Like, subscribe. Got the Patreon link down below. I've been told I don't plug that ever. Probably right. Part of it is guilt to where I'm like, I don't know, asking for money is weird, but it definitely helps. Maybe supports more rye whiskey. We shall see. You get free samples, free Glencarin. You can check out the link. All right, Glass A, that's enough. Enjoy that. I probably will mention the rye mainly out of how intense is that rye tingle, rye spice, does it go rye bread? I understand, they're all ryes. But if you have not tried these, how intense is that rye? This one, nice, but very fruity. A lot of apricot, honey, vanilla, rye spice so far. I want to say it, but it feels weird, but I'm experiencing it. Will it stay there? I'm kind of hoping. This actually brings me down like a watermelon bubblicious. I understand that's sickeningly sweet. It is a little died down, but there's like this great watermelon bubblegum, and then when you say it, it amplifies a little bit, but very fruity on the nose. Pretty excited for it. Nothing new came out, so we'll just go with that apricot, vanilla, honey on the palate. It's good. Took a weird swallow. That's on me. Very fruit forward. Strawberry. Is that apricot still there? I think so. It's like this nice like strawberry apricot peach journey. I'm excited for it. Good vanilla. Honey continues. Rye spice, that rye tingle, definitely there. All of these are going to be lower proof. But ultimately, first sip of the day, decent finish. Hangs around the palate for a good bit. I mean, when you're talking about $50, you do have to kind of curb some of the enthusiasm, if you will. But when you're talking about all under 50, that does cling to the palate pretty well. Let's go sip 2, see if sip 1's a liar. It's good. It's what I tend to lean towards when it comes to at least the rye tasting profile, if you will, with this grapefruit forward, good vanilla, great sweetness to it. As it kind of hangs on the palate, it does go into nice tea, caramel, rye spice, just pop rocks. I enjoy it. It's kind of fun, but delicious, highly crushable. Like that one. Like that one a lot. We're going to move on to Glass B. Here we are. Does something clever come? Sometimes you just stall out and see. Whoa, that is very different. This one going much more earthy, almost like I'm going to use a wine note. It's kind of like a forest floor, and it's not usually a bad thing when it comes to a red wine. A lot more oak on this one. I don't think there was any oak on glass A. Glass B, heavier oak and more like damp oak, like left outside oak. A little worried for this pour. Not gonna lie to you. This one coming across very country, if you will. I love a good country. Wish I could afford land on the country, but sometimes you're reminded the smells maybe not be up your alley. So that wet wood, maybe some hay in there, a little black pepper, where you're like, okay, hopefully there's some sweetness in here. Light brown sugar, maybe green apple. Maybe I'm wanting it, but this guy, we found our yin and yang. Let's put it that way. Glass B on the palate. Experience is pretty good. Nose had me worried. Countryside has died down a little bit, for better or worse, depending on your palate. This guy, a little more lemon. There's something in there. Something in there. It's going to come to me, though. Lemon, tea. That was it. Vanilla, decent oak. I do feel like it has a thicker experience. Viscosity is better than Glass A. I don't necessarily know if it's proof because at least finish. Now, granted, that was first sip, but this first sip on Glass B, third sip, I feel like my wife counting sips. Lord. This one, a little less in the chest, but it does seem to have a thicker, a little more oily experience than what Glass A does. Now that we've cleansed Glass A from the palate, let's see if anything else comes out for sip 2. Sip 2 is better. Happy I did that one. Like that. This one, a little more refreshing, if you will. I do think it goes more into that lemon, maybe a little pine, minty action on the palate as it goes into the back of the palate. You start going into like more of a ginger ale, and with it being a rye, which is kind of that rye tingle, I could see actual ginger ale with the carbonation. Enjoy that one. Obviously, this is going to boil down to my preference, but curious what you would do between those two, because vastly different pours, different experiences. That's when you start scoring, ranking these pours. That's when it doesn't get fun. Now, this guy's a different color. I'll tell you that. Let's do Class C on the nose. Yes, please. Great spiced cherry, like a stewed red fruit. Just a hint of mint in there and a little lemon. It's like a strawberry lemonade. Oh, wow. Really enjoyed this nose. I had to spend a little extra time with it, but ultimately, this nice kind of light brown sugar. Is it light because of the proof? I don't know, but ultimately, it's not as rich as what some of your darker brown sugars are. Light brown sugar. I'm gonna go like a strawberry lemonade with like a nice sprig of mint on top. Tell you what, you take that out on the back patio on just a day where it's 75 and it used to be 95, and you're like, this is heaven. All right, on the palate. Yeah, I see you. Kind of wanted the lemonade to continue, but it doesn't. It goes a lot more dark on the palate, actually. That cherry, vanilla, caramel, and like a Dr. Pepper. Love a good soda pour. It's bringing me into Dr. Pepper. We're going to go back to a quick sip too, because I don't want too much influence between them. We're going ginger ale. All of a sudden, we're going fountain sodas. So let's make sure. It helped. Good red apple. Good peach in there. That Dr. Pepper is still kind of hanging in there. I'm here for it. That cherry's nice. This one seems to be a little less rye spice. Not in a bad way. Maybe it's because it's Glass 3, C. But a little less pop roxy than what some of the other two were. This one, pretty good. I feel like this one may have so far the most maybe rye characteristics in terms of what's on the palate. You kind of go into more of a like an allspice, clove, leather, but still rounded out with just a good, almost like a spiced cherry, like a cinnamon spiced cherry. But that Dr. Pepper has me intrigued and excited. Now, last, maybe least. You never know. On the nose. I like this. Lemon, vanilla, caramel. Good oak, almost like there was like a toffee almost that kind of tickled the nose when I pulled away. Yeah, I think I'm going to change the caramel to toffee. There's like a nice butteriness to it, but good oak, like they took care of it. Like they specifically placed it somewhere in the rick house and not in the backyard. So we got that going for us. This nose may have the most depth to it, to where that finely placed barrel in the rick house has this nice kind of toasted oak to it, a little leather, but ultimately still kind of rounded out with this good lemon, vanilla, and toffee. Here for it on the palate. I could see it. I see it. It tastes nice. It feels nice in the mouth hole. Not really wheelhouse, but let's dive into it. This one has a nice creaminess to it. Floods the palate a little bit more, probably the most out of all of these. I feel like it actually really coats cheeks, top of the mouth. And I'm pretty sure I sipped it the same way outside of glass A, where I stumbled on myself. But yeah, this guy, good oak, lemon, a little more mint coming out as it sits on the palate. Not bad. Just realized that was sip one. Let's do sip two and actually critique this guy. Delightful. I feel like the tasting notes are a little more almost defined, a little less muddy on this one, to where there seems to be a pretty good quality behind it. This vanilla cream, there is kind of like almost like a lemongrass to it. I don't know if lemon plus grass is lemongrass. I understand it's a separate plant, but in my mind, it's either I dropped my lemon in the grass and licked it, or it's the lemongrass you put in a shake. One of the two. Great oak. There's a creaminess, like that vanilla cream really ramps up on the finish. Pretty good leather. Oak kind of continues. And I'm going to go kind of like this clove, allspice, kind of rice spice is kind of where it brings me. Enjoyable. I'm going to do another quick kind of run through, try and get some closing thoughts and somehow rank these, because none of them felt close to each other. So we got that going for us. All right, let's wrap this guy up quick. I'm not necessarily going to rate it on what I believe is the best for the beginner. Obviously, when it comes to the tasting notes and what I'm attempting to communicate, it's going to be up to you. So hopefully between price point, proof, hopefully accurate tasting notes, this at least steers you in the right direction. So don't blindly follow the ranking at the end of the episode. Let's do the tasting notes and make a decision for yourself. So fourth and third was pretty close together because they're vastly different. And I was just trying to kind of figure out what is important at this point. And oddly enough, the better experience bottle lost. So I was pretty shocked. I hold experience of the sip in pretty high regard, but the countryside I just couldn't get over. I don't know. Maybe it was because it was more true to the rye. Maybe. And I'm still learning that aspect of it. But ultimately, it's going to be glass B. It's certainly not bad. It had its pros. Just wasn't really my wheelhouse, but still something that I would reach for on, in my mind, a summer day. It was rich, good experience, and maybe just a little too rye spice heavy. Now seeing it, with it being a lower rye, pretty unsure of where this direction's heading at this point. Now, rank 3, this was probably, in my opinion, probably the most approachable, probably even the most enjoyable for a beginner that's never tried a rye. But I also really enjoy a good sweetness, good fruitiness to it. It didn't have enough going on to push itself into second place. And it was pretty close with glass 4, to be fair. I felt like when it comes to the tiers, 4 and 3, pretty clear. And then second and first, pretty clear above 3 and 4, for me at least. So obviously, glass A, ooh. Great fruitiness, a little one-dimensional. I think that's what was holding it back for me to put it into just a better tier, obviously. Nothing new came out. It's solid. It's delicious stuff. At $30, I would pick this over probably the better experience of the Russell 6, unless you enjoy going a little earthy. then this is going to flip-flop, obviously. Now, how do we do, let's do second and first together. How did I break them apart? Very difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. One tasted a little higher quality. One was just a little more my personal wheelhouse. And to be fully transparent, since I'm not rye heavy guy, I did lean towards this one tasted a little bit more like a bourbon to me. I knew it wasn't a bourbon, not because it's up here. Didn't have like the richness of a bourbon, but I feel like it was on the lower rye scale. So we shall see. Let's see. Second. And that will answer first. Second. Ooh. Well. I don't know how much of the high rye mash bill goes into the Sagamore. They don't disclose it. They just talk about blending them. This one it goes a little less rye, which makes sense when you're exclusively a 95.5 rye. I do think Bardstown now tastes more expensive, which it is, and that's what you would want. I do think this tastes above $50. Sagamore and that Dr. Pepper, which I do love Dr. Pepper, to be fair. It had me on the where I wanted to be. I think that's where I was trying to go with that. I don't know. I think this guy, it's great. It's fruity, just a little more one-dimensional to where probably the beginner that's never tried it, that's probably where they want to be. I think if you've had a couple, I think Bardstown's a great one, mainly because I think it is more true to the rye whiskey piece of it. This one probably going to be more personal preference, but man, that spiced cherry, that goodness, I enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. If you are a rye whiskey guy, am I on the right path? Or did I miss something? Is there something else I should be trying? I know the cigar episode that we did, a lot of recommendations, a lot not in Kansas City, so that was kind of hurtful, just to my own heart. Keep the recommendations coming. Curious your thoughts. How do you score these guys? Am I way off on the Russell 6? Or am I dead on? I never hear anything of it. To be fair, I don't hear enough about Sagamore Spirit, apparently. Love that their new juice, their own juice, is coming out on top. Their tenure was unbelievable. So excited to see what they do. Do they up the year this year at the end? I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued by Sagamore now.